Hello YouTube, Freddie Cardona here. Welcome back to another morning vlog. This one is a sad one. We lost our beloved sheriff last night around 3:30. Sheriff Richard Burdick, rest in peace. Our thoughts and prayers are with your family. I'm sure my Fredscribers and my ATF squad are all will all have that family in our prayers. He was married, he had children, and this is a tough vlog to make, but I feel it's necessary. I also did a video at El Toro restaurant in tribute. A lot of people can't make it up to this area who probably knew the sheriff and just wanted to show the area.
Well, AccuWeather says we've got a winter weather advisory in effect in the distant northern suburbs. Slippery and icy roads and sidewalks.
I don't know how much time the news 1010 Winds is going to dedicate to the sheriff, but we'll see.
Nasty day. Steadier rain starts to return to the area toward the evening. Could get up around 40.
Let's stop here for a second to give them a chance, give some of these cars a chance to go by.
The radio station of the nation. Phil Pilato's our service aide. Walter Geis, our writer. Justin Schrager at the editor's desk. And I'm Scott Stanford.
All news, all the time. This is 1010 Winds at 92.3 FM, New York.
Good morning, 41 degrees. It is 9 o'clock on this Wednesday, January 24th. I'm Susan Richard. Here's what's happening.
This race is far from over.
If we don't win, I think our country is finished.
Donald Trump takes New Hampshire, but Nikki Haley vows to stay in the fight. The Passaic County Sheriff has died, apparently by his own hand. Our Glenn Schuck with the story. A fight in Times Square over bumming a cigarette lands a man in the hospital with a stab wound to the face. Mayor Adams to give his State of the City speech today with a protest planned ahead of that. And it looks like His Honor will have something to boast about in that speech.
Start spreading the news.
Yes, it's official. New York really is the great...
Copyright.
We'll explain. In sports, Knicks beat the Nets. Islanders and Rangers both lost. AccuWeather rain drizzled today, the high 44. Winds News Time 9:01. Traffic and transit with Russ Meyer.
And Susan, a number of things are popping up in New Jersey. Let's talk about Route 4 heading westbound, coming into Maywood Avenue, Paramus, as you approach Route 17. Traffic is backing up quickly as a result of a crash, taking out the...
I'll be releasing the video I did at El Toro, the location of El Toro restaurant where the incident happened. I felt it was important to document that for history.
MetLife Stadium got the right lane taken out. They're doing some emergency work. And also on the southbound side of Palisades Parkway, with those heading on down towards the GWE, just before the bridge, there's a crash. So 9W, the better option. Also, here's what you need to know about the bridges and tunnels. It's going to be 45 to 50 for the GWB. We got a crash heading for the upper level right by the tolls. Right lane is taken out. And also at the Lincoln Tunnel, about 40 minutes. About 35 to 40 for the Holland Tunnel. That 139 approach is backed up quite a bit. In fact, it spills onto Pulaski Skyway at the Kennedy Circle and back towards around the Passaic River Bridge. Now, here's what we see on Long Island's Big Three. Nothing major for the LIE, the northern state of the southern state. All remain busy for you. We have the support sponsored by Hudson Toyota. Now at Hudson Toyota with year-end shipments, it's like the good old days. Over 600 vehicles, new Toyotas with year-end savings. Toyota Fund is on. Ignore MSRP. Hudson Toyota, Route 440, Jersey City. HudsonToyota.com. I'm Russ Meyer. Next report 9/11. 1010 Winds on 92.3 FM.
Donald Trump takes New Hampshire, beating Nikki Haley by 11 points.
Everybody, thank you. Whoa!
Trump celebrating his win over Nikki Haley, who finished second despite investing significant time and money in New Hampshire. She's still resisting calls to drop out.
This race is far from over. There are dozens of states left to go.
To Trump, it sounded like a victory lap,
She didn't win, she lost.
and says Haley should follow Ron DeSantis, who ended his campaign after finishing second in Iowa,
She came in third and she's still hanging around.
making clear his fury that Haley insists on staying in the race. Sagar Meghani, Washington.
Next up, Haley's home state of South Carolina, which votes February 24th.
He can shred the reputation of anyone he wants. The only person standing is Nikki Haley. So there's something to be said for
for that achievement alone. But yeah, if Nikki Haley wants to stick this out, she's going to have to buckle up for a brutal couple of weeks of campaigning at least.
ABC political director Rick Klein on the Start Here podcast, the head of the RNC weighing in, Ronna McDaniel telling Fox News she does not see a path forward for Haley and that the party needs to unite around Donald Trump. President Biden did not formally take part in the New Hampshire primary because the state held it ahead of where it fell on the DNC calendar. New Hampshire Democrats, however, came out for Mr. Biden over long-shot challengers Minnesota Congressman Dean Phillips and self-help author Marianne Williamson.
They are happy, of course, that Joe Biden did win the Democratic primary, even though he wasn't on the ballot. No Democrat, no delegates were up for grabs there, and they are already looking ahead to the general in a statement saying Trump has all but locked up the GOP nomination and then outlining again what is at stake. That central argument of this campaign that Donald Trump, they say, is promising to undermine American democracy.
That's correspondent Mary Bruce. Letitia James asking the judge in her civil fraud case against Donald Trump to do what the state did to the so-called pharma bro and ban the former president from doing business in New York for life. In making the request, State Attorney General cited a recent appeals court ruling that upheld a similar ban on Martin Shkreli. That was part of an antitrust suit after he tried to block his competition in order to hike the price of a drug by 4,000%. Well, James also wants Donald Jr. and Eric Trump barred from the real estate industry in New York for 5 years, and for all of them to be fined $360 million. Still plenty of unanswered questions this morning in the death of the Passaic County Sheriff.
As he often did, Sheriff Richard Burdick was grabbing a meal here at popular Toro's restaurant in Clifton, and the witnesses say he got up to go to the bathroom. Then a single gunshot, the sheriff dead from apparent suicide. Among his many friends stunned and overcome with grief, Passaic Mayor Hector Laura we spoke with.
A father and a grandfather, a family man, someone who loved this nation and wanted to serve in this role and gave it his all to do so, is no longer with us.
Response in a written statement from Governor Phil Murphy, saying he was blessed to call Burdick a close friend. Glenn Schuck, 1010 Wins on 92.3 FM in Clifton.
41 degrees, clouds now, the humidity 82%, the winds northeast at 7 because we've got clouds. And now.
Thank you so much for joining me today. Our thoughts and prayers again with the family of our beloved sheriff. And we hope that people who are suffering in silence get the help that they need. We'll see you on the next video.